Look at yourself for a moment. Really look and notice what the eyes in the mirror have been waiting to hear. Not what the world wants from you, not what you think you should be by now, not the list of improvements you've been carrying like a secret burden. Just what you have been longing to hear. There is such tenderness here. And I want you to know something right away. You are not wrong for doubting yourself. You are not broken because you hesitate. You are not weak because you second guess. You see, self-doubt is often a learned language. Many of us were taught it so early, we thought it was our personality. We thought it was being realistic. We thought it was humility. But most of the time, it was simply the mind trying to keep us safe in the only way it knew. And today, we are going to teach it something new. So many of us learn to doubt ourselves before we ever learn to trust ourselves. Maybe you grew up in a home where love felt conditional, where praise came only when you performed, where mistakes were not allowed, where emotions were inconvenient, where you had to be good or quiet or helpful or perfect, or maybe no one meant to harm you at all, but you still absorbed the message from school, from culture, from siblings, from relationships, from the way people responded to you when you expressed your needs. And little by little, you may have begun to believe that you were not safe being fully you. Self-doubt can sound like, what if I fail? Or, who am I to do this? Or, they'll laugh at me. Or, I should know better. Or, I'm behind. Or, I'm too much. Or, I'm not enough. And I want you to notice something, how familiar that voice is. Sometimes it's not even your voice, it's an echo, it's a remembered tone, it's a borrowed opinion, it's an old moment that got stuck inside you. And that's why the mirror is so powerful. The mirror is not there to judge you, sweetheart. It's there to introduce you to you. Because when you stand in front of a mirror, something honest happens. You can't run away the same way. You can't multitask your feelings. You can't pretend you don't exist. The mirror becomes a meeting place. And for many people, that meeting place has been painful. They look at themselves and immediately search for flaws. They critique, they tighten, they brace, they disconnect. But we can change that. We can make the mirror a place of kindness, a place of safety, a place of new beginnings. Now, I want to say something very clearly, not as a demand, not as pressure, but as a gentle truth. You deserve to be on your own side. You deserve to live in a mind that supports you. You deserve to speak to yourself like someone you love. And if that feels unfamiliar, if you don't know how to do that yet, that is exactly why we practice. Self-doubt is often just an old habit of thought. And this is only a thought, and a thought can be changed. You see, the mind repeats what it has practiced. It repeats what it has rehearsed. It repeats what it has heard the most. If you have practiced criticism for years, it will feel automatic. If you have practiced worry for years, it will feel like truth. If you have practiced comparison for years, you will feel small even when you are shining. But there is nothing permanent about a habit of thought. The word permanent can sound so dramatic, can't it? Erase self-doubt permanently. And I understand why you want that. I understand that desire, because self-doubt is exhausting. It drains your life force. It steals your joy before you even begin. So let's be honest and gentle here. Self-doubt may not vanish in one dramatic moment, but it can lose its power. It can become quieter. It can become something you recognize rather than obey. And over time, with practice, it can feel like a distant voice you no longer answer. That is real healing. That is true freedom. And the mirror technique we're doing is not magic. It is a relationship with yourself, built one moment at a time. The point of power is always in the present moment. Not in what happened, not in what you did wrong, not in what you should have known. Right now. Because right now, you can choose a new sentence. Right now, you can soften your face. Right now, you can breathe and say something kind. And when you do that consistently, life begins to respond. Your nervous system responds. Your choices respond. Your posture responds. Your relationships respond. Your opportunities respond. Not because the universe is a vending machine, but because when you treat yourself as worthy, you live as if you belong here. And you do belong here. Now let's talk about why mirror work can feel so intense. For some people, standing in front of a mirror and speaking loving words feels embarrassing, or fake, or emotional. Sometimes it makes you cry, sometimes it makes you angry, sometimes it makes you want to leave the room. That's normal. Because when you offer love to the parts of you that have been starving for love, they respond. It's like giving water to a plant that has been dry for a long time. At first, it doesn't look better immediately. It looks messy. The soil shifts. The leaves droop differently. There's a transition. So if you feel anything as you do this, I want you to welcome it, not as proof you're failing, but as proof you're touching something real. Notice where you feel self-doubt in your body. Is it in your chest, like a tightness? Is it in your throat, like words stuck? Is it in your stomach, like a sinking feeling? And is it in your shoulders, like you're carrying something? Just notice, without judgment. And as you notice, breathe. In the infinity of life where I am, all is well. You don't have to force this. You don't have to bully yourself into confidence. Confidence that comes from force is fragile. Confidence that comes from love is steady. Now, I want to share with you how self-doubt often begins. Let's go a little deeper now, because the voice that questions you today often began as protection long ago. Imagine a child who tries something new, and someone laughs, or criticizes, or says, "Not like that," or says, "Who do you think you are?" That child learns, "If I don't try, I can't be hurt." Or a child makes a mistake and gets shamed and learns, "If I'm perfect, I'm safe." Or a child is ignored unless they achieve and learns, "If I perform, I'm lovable." Or a child watches adults who doubt themselves and learns, "This is how people talk about themselves." And then you grow up, and that child is still inside you, trying to keep you safe. So when you hear self-doubt, don't hate it. Meet it with compassion. You can say, "Oh, there you are. You're trying to protect me. Thank you, and I am safe now." This is powerful, because when you fight the inner critic, it fights back. But when you listen with love, it softens. Now, the mirror is where we practice becoming our own safe person. I want you to think of the mirror as a doorway into a new relationship with yourself. Not a place to check if you're acceptable, but a place to remember you are. Now, here's something I've seen over and over. People are willing to work so hard to earn love from others. They will overgive, overachieve, over-apologize, over-explain. But when it comes to giving love to themselves, they hesitate. They think they have to deserve it first. Sweetheart, you don't earn your worth. You were born worthy. You were born lovable. You were born enough. And yes, you have habits. Yes, you have patterns. Yes, you have things to learn. But your worth is not up for debate. Now let me give you a simple image. Imagine you are carrying a radio around all day, and that radio plays one station: criticism. You're not doing enough. You'll mess it up. They're better. You're too late. You're too sensitive. Don't even try. At first you think the radio is reality. You think it's the news. You think it's reporting facts. But it's not. It's just a station you've been tuned to. Mirror work is changing the station. And at first, the new station may sound unfamiliar. It may sound like a language you don't speak yet. but you can learn love. Now, we are going to do this as a 21-day challenge. Not because 21 days is a magic number, but because it gives your mind a container. It gives your heart a promise. It gives you a path. And because repetition, done with kindness, changes you. Over the next 21 days, we're going to build a new inner home, one kind sentence at a time. An inner home where you can rest, where you can make mistakes, where you can be human, where you can grow. Now, I want you to approach this challenge in a very specific way. Not as a test, not as another thing to be perfect at, not as a performance, but as a devotion to the relationship you have with yourself, because you are the one person you will be with your whole life, and you deserve to be a gentle companion to you. So let's begin with day one energy. Even if it's not your first time hearing these ideas, day one is willingness. Day one is honesty. Day one is showing up, and you're doing that right now. Before we move into the practice, I want to address something that may be in your mind. You might be thinking, but I don't believe loving words. And that's okay. Belief is not required to begin. Willingness is. You can start with phrases like, I am willing to learn to love myself. I am open to seeing myself differently. I am willing to practice kindness. I am willing to release the habit of self-doubt. These are gentle. They don't demand a leap. They open a door because the part of you that doubts has been hurt. It needs trust, not pressure. Now here is the basic mirror practice. You stand in front of a mirror. You look into your own eyes, and you speak to yourself like someone you love, not like a coach shouting, not like a judge, like love. And you may feel silly until you feel something real. Now, if you can, place one hand on your heart. Feel the warmth. Feel your own touch. We forget how much our body responds to kindness. Now take a breath and imagine your eyes softening like warm sunlight. Now gently in your mind or out loud, say, I see you. Pause, I see you. And notice what happens in your body when you say that. Some people feel relief, some people feel resistance, some people feel nothing at first. All of it is okay. Now say, I am here with you. Pause, I am here with you. This is the beginning of self-trust. Self-trust is not, I will never feel fear. Self-trust is, even when I feel fear, I will be here for myself. Now let's talk about what self-doubt really wants. Often self-doubt wants certainty. It wants a guarantee. It wants to know you won't be rejected. It wants to know you won't fail. But life doesn't work that way. Life works through growth, and growth involves unknowns, so we don't wait for certainty. We build safety within ourselves. Then we can face uncertainty with steadiness. I want you to remember this. You can be afraid and still move forward. You can doubt and still choose. You can tremble and still take the step. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is love leading anyway. Now, I'm going to give you a simple structure for the 21 days, and we will do a full experience together right now, as if you are beginning. Each day has 3 parts: a greeting, a healing sentence, an affirmation sequence. The greeting is, hello, my beautiful friend. Yes, you. You are your own beautiful friend. The healing sentence addresses the root. It's okay that you learn to doubt, and you can learn to trust. And the affirmation sequence builds the new pattern. Now, don't worry about memorizing this perfectly. Let it be alive. Let it meet you where you are. Let's practice. Look into your eyes and say softly, hello, my beautiful friend. Pause. Hello, my beautiful friend. If that feels hard, notice the part of you that resists. That part is used to distance. It may not feel safe being close. And you can say, it's safe for me to be gentle with myself. Now say, it's okay that I learned to doubt myself. Pause. It's okay that I learned to doubt myself. And then, I can learn to trust myself now. Pause. I can learn to trust myself now. Notice how that feels. Now we will begin the affirmation sequence. I'll speak them slowly and you can repeat them in your mind or out loud. And I want you to remember, the mirror is not a courtroom. It's a sanctuary. Here we go. I am willing to believe in myself. Pause. I am willing to believe in myself. I am learning to trust my inner voice. Pause. I am learning to trust my inner voice. I deserve to take up space. Pause. I deserve to take up space. I deserve to make choices that honor me. Pause. I deserve to make choices that honor me. I release the need to be perfect. Pause. I release the need to be perfect. I allow myself to learn. Pause. I allow myself to learn. I am safe to grow. Pause. I am safe to grow. Life loves me and I love me. Pause. Life loves me and I love me. Now let's do a deeper repetition, because repetition is how we rewire. We're going to focus on one core affirmation. I trust myself. And we're going to say it several times with small variations so it lands in different places inside you. Look into your eyes. I trust myself. Pause. I trust myself. It is safe for me to trust myself. Pause. It is safe for me to trust myself. I trust myself more each day. Pause. I trust myself more each day. I trust myself even when I feel uncertain. Pause. I trust myself even when I feel uncertain. I trust myself to handle what comes. Pause. I trust myself to handle what comes. I trust myself to learn and adapt. Pause. I trust myself to learn and adapt. I trust myself because I am here with me. Pause. I trust myself because I am here with me. Now take a breath and notice. Something may soften. Maybe it's small, maybe it's subtle, but a shift is a shift. Now I want to address the title phrase, erases self-doubt permanently. Here is the most loving truth. We don't erase ourselves, we integrate. Self-doubt is not your enemy, it's a frightened part, and we can soothe it, we can re-educate it, we can give it a new job. Instead of doubt, it can become discernment. Instead of fear, it can become care. Instead of attack, it can become awareness. This is mature healing, and mirror work is like holding a warm light to the places inside you that have been cold. Now let's walk through what a typical self-doubt moment looks like, and how the mirror practice helps. Imagine you're about to send an email, apply for a job, share an idea, set a boundary, start a project, post something online, speak up, and suddenly self-doubt rises. Your body reacts, your mind races. You begin to imagine criticism before it even happens. You start to shrink. That moment is your practice moment, because the point of power is always in the present moment. You can pause and say, oh, this is the old pattern. You can breathe and say, I am safe. You can place a hand on your heart and say, I am here with you. Then when you have time, you return to the mirror and you speak the truth. You tell yourself what you needed to hear before the doubt took over. Now I want to give you a story, not to entertain, but to teach. There was a woman I knew who had a beautiful gift. She could teach, she could speak, she could inspire. But every time she had an opportunity, she would hesitate. She would say, I'm not ready. I don't know enough. Someone else could do it better. And she said something one day that broke my heart. She said, I feel like I have to be perfect before I'm allowed to begin. Can you feel the sadness in that? How many dreams have been delayed by that thought? So we began mirror work together, very gently. At first she could barely look at herself. Her eyes would dart away. She would laugh nervously. She would say, "This is silly." But we stayed with it. And one day, she looked into her eyes and she said, "I am proud of you." And she started to cry, not because she was weak, but because she had never heard it. And something changed, not overnight, but steadily. She began to take small steps. She began to try without punishing herself. She began to speak up. She began to live. And the most beautiful part, even when she was afraid, she wasn't cruel to herself anymore. And that is what we are doing. We are ending the inner cruelty, because self-doubt is often not just uncertainty, it's harshness. It's the way you speak to yourself when you're scared, and we are changing that. Now, here is another metaphor. Think of your mind as a garden. Self-doubt is a weed that grew because the soil was unattended. It grew because no one taught you how to plant kindness. You don't hate the weed. You remove it gently. You pull it when you notice it, and you plant something else. What do you plant? Self-acceptance, self-respect, self-trust, self-love. And when you water those, they grow. Mirror work is watering. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest reasons people quit this practice. They say, "I did it for a few days and I didn't feel different." Sweetheart, healing is not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's simply this. You catch the critic sooner. You apologize to yourself faster. You recover from a mistake more gently. You take the step anyway. You stop abandoning yourself. And that is real progress. And so, for this 21-day journey, I want you to measure progress in a new way, not by perfection, but by presence. Did you show up? Did you speak kindly at least once? Did you soften your face toward yourself? Did you choose love even for 10 seconds? That counts. Now I'm going to guide you through a deeper mirror session that you can use anytime. This will feel like a gentle, healing conversation with yourself. If you're not near a mirror right now, you can imagine one. Your mind understands imagery. Your body responds to it. So either stand before a mirror or close your eyes and picture your own face. See yourself and let it be simple. Now breathe and say, "I am willing to be kind to you." Pause. I am willing to be kind to you. Now say, "I am willing to stop arguing with my worth." Pause. I am willing to stop arguing with my worth. Now notice if your mind wants to object. It might say, "But you haven't earned it." That is the old conditioning, and you can answer it with love. I do not need to earn my right to exist. Pause. I do not need to earn my right to exist. Now say, "I forgive myself for believing I wasn't enough." Pause. I forgive myself for believing I wasn't enough. That line can touch deep places. If you feel emotion, let it move. Tears are not a problem. They are release. Now, place your hand on your heart again and say, "I am safe with me." Pause. I am safe with me. Again, I am safe with me. One more time. I am safe with me. Now, let's speak directly to the self-doubt voice. You can say, "I know you're trying to protect me." Pause. I know you're trying to protect me. And I am choosing love now. Pause. And I am choosing love now. And I will not punish myself anymore. Pause. And I will not punish myself anymore. Now take a breath and imagine your shoulders dropping, even a little. Now let's bring in something very important. Self-doubt often focuses on the future. What if? What if? What if? And it pulls you out of the present. So we bring ourselves back. We say, "Right now, I am here." Pause. Right now, I am here. Right now, I am breathing. Pause. Right now, I am breathing. Right now, I choose a loving thought. Pause. Right now, I choose a loving thought. This is the practice. Now, I want to talk about another form of self-doubt that many people don't recognize. It's the doubt that shows up as over-explaining. You say your truth, and then you keep talking to justify it. Or the doubt that shows up as over-apologizing. You apologize for taking time, for needing help, for being human, or the doubt that shows up as over-preparing. You won't begin until you've read everything, learned everything, mastered everything. Sweetheart, these are all ways we try to earn safety, and we can release them. You can say in the mirror, I release the need to prove my worth. Pause. I release the need to prove my worth. I am worthy because I exist. Pause. I am worthy because I exist. Now, another important point. Some people use affirmations as a way to bypass feelings. They say positive words while ignoring grief, anger, fear. That's not what we're doing. We are including the feelings. We are saying, it's okay to feel what I feel. And I can choose a new thought too. Both can be true. So if you look in the mirror and you feel sad, you can say, it's okay, sweetheart, I'm here. If you feel angry, you can say, it's okay, your feelings matter. If you feel numb, you can say, oh, it's okay, we're going gently. This is love. Now for the 21-day challenge. I want to give you a beautiful daily practice that takes just a few minutes. You can do it in the morning, or at night, or both. It has 3 steps. Step 1, eye contact. Step 2, one honest sentence. Step 3, one loving affirmation repeated. Here are examples of honest sentences. Today I feel nervous and I'm still here. Today I feel tired and I deserve kindness. Today I feel unsure and I'm willing to trust myself. Today I feel tender and I will not abandon myself. Then you choose your affirmation and you repeat it slowly 5 to 7 times. Why 5 to 7? Because repetition gives the mind a new groove. It begins to feel familiar. Now let's create a set of affirmations for this journey. You don't have to use all of them. Choose what feels right, and I'll guide you through them so you can feel their texture and look into your eyes. I approve of myself. Pause. I approve of myself. Again. I approve of myself. And again. I approve of myself. Now, I am learning to trust my decisions. Pause. I am learning to trust my decisions. Again. I am learning to trust my decisions. Now, I deserve good things. Pause. I deserve good things. Again. I deserve good things. Now, my voice matters. Pause. My voice matters. Again. My voice matters. Now. I am allowed to begin. Pause. I am allowed to begin. Again. I am allowed to begin. Now, I release the fear of being seen. Pause. I release the fear of being seen. Again. I release the fear of being seen. Now, all is well in my world. Pause. All is well in my world. Again, all is well in my world. Now take a breath and notice which one made your body soften. That's your medicine. Now let's bring in a very practical piece, because this is not only spiritual, it's practical. Self-doubt often comes from interpreting uncertainty as danger. Your body may respond to uncertainty like it's a threat. So we must teach the body safety. How do we teach safety? With breath, with touch, with gentle words, with consistency, with showing up again and again. So if you want this to truly change, don't wait until you feel confident to do it. Do it when you don't. That is how confidence grows. Confidence is not a feeling you wait for, it's a relationship you build. Now I want you to imagine something. Imagine that every time you doubted yourself, you were actually calling for love. Not in a dramatic way, but in a simple way. Please reassure me. Please don't leave me. Please tell me I'm okay. That's what self-doubt often is. So the mirror becomes where you answer, where you say, I'm here. You're okay. I won't leave you. And over time, the doubt doesn't need to scream anymore. Now let's address a very common worry. You may fear that if you stop doubting yourself, you'll become arrogant, or careless, or selfish. Number. Self-trust is not arrogance. Self-love is not selfishness. When you love yourself, you become kinder, you become clearer, you become more grounded. You stop needing validation so desperately because you have it inside. You stop competing because you know there's enough. You stop shrinking because you know you belong. That is healthy. That is healing. Now let me give you another story. A man once told me, if I believe in myself, I might fail and be humiliated. And I asked him, and if you don't believe in yourself, what happens? He became quiet because he realized he had already been living the humiliation privately, every day, by abandoning himself before anyone else could. You see, self-doubt is often self-rejection, and we are ending that. You don't need to reject yourself preemptively. You don't need to punish yourself to avoid others' judgment. You can be your own ally. Now, if you're doing this 21-day challenge, I want you to anticipate something that will happen around the middle. Somewhere around day 7 to day 14, the mind may push back. It might say, this is silly. This isn't working. I don't have time. I feel worse. This is the old pattern defending itself. Not because you're failing, but because you're changing. So if that happens, be kind and keep going. Even if you do it for 30 seconds, even if you whisper, even if you only say, I am willing. Willingness is powerful. Now let's make this even more real. I want you to think of one area where self-doubt shows up the most. Is it in your work, in relationships, in your body, in your creativity, in money? In speaking up? Just choose one. And now imagine you're standing in front of the mirror, speaking to the part of you that doubts in that area. If it's work, you might say, it's safe for me to shine. Pause. It's safe for me to shine. If it's relationships, you might say, it's safe for me to be loved. Pause. It's safe for me to be loved. If it's your body, you might say, I choose to be kind to my body. Pause. I choose to be kind to my body. If it's money, you might say, I am open to receiving. Pause. I am open to receiving. If it's creativity, you might say, I allow myself to create. Pause. I allow myself to create. Now, one more layer. Sometimes the deepest self-doubt is not about ability, it's about worth. It's the fear that if you succeed, you'll be seen. And if you're seen, you could be judged. And if you're judged, you could be rejected. So we soothe that fear. We say, I am safe to be seen. Pause. I am safe to be seen. Again, I am safe to be seen. And we add, I approve of myself. Pause. I approve of myself. Again, I approve of myself. Now breathe. Life loves you, even if you don't fully believe it yet. Life loves you because life created you, and I know this to be true. You were not created to spend your days doubting your worth. You were created to grow, to express, to love, to learn, to contribute, to enjoy. Now, there is something important about mirror work that many people miss. It is not just the words, it is the energy. If you say, I love you, while rolling your eyes, Your body hears the eye roll. So be gentle. Even if you don't feel love yet, you can offer kindness. Kindness is accessible. You can say, I am learning to be kind to you, and you can mean it. Now let's do a guided sequence you can use every day. I'll speak it as a flowing practice, and you can return to it often. Look into your eyes and breathe. Hello, sweetheart. Pause. I'm here with you. Pause. I know you've been scared. Pause. I know you've been trying so hard. Pause. You don't have to prove anything to me. Pause. I am proud of you for showing up. Pause. I forgive you for the ways you doubted yourself. Pause. I forgive you for the times you were harsh. Pause. You did the best you could with what you knew. Pause. And now, we are learning something new. Pause. It's safe for you to trust yourself. Pause. It's safe for you to try. Pause. It's safe for you to be imperfect. Pause. I love you. Pause. I love you. Pause. I love you. Now, notice what your body feels like. Even if it's subtle, notice. This is your nervous system receiving something different. Now let's talk about how to handle the days when you really don't want to do it, because those days will come. On those days, don't make it big, make it small. Stand in front of the mirror and say only one sentence. I'm having a hard day and I will not abandon myself. That's it. That is love. Or say, I choose to be gentle today. Or simply, I am here. Consistency doesn't mean intensity. It means return. Again and again, you return. Now I want to give you another metaphor that can make this even clearer. Imagine your self-doubt is like a fog. When you're in it, it feels like truth. It feels like the whole world. But fog is not permanent. Fog lifts with warmth. Fog lifts with light. Mirror work is warmth and light. Not harsh light, not spotlight, gentle morning light. And slowly, you begin to see yourself clearly. Now, I want to address something else. Something very tender. Sometimes self-doubt is tied to shame. And shame says, if people really knew me, they wouldn't love me. But love is not for the perfect version of you. Love is for you, the real you, the learning you, the growing you. So if shame is present, you can say in the mirror, I release shame. Pause. I release shame. I am willing to see myself with compassion. Pause. I am willing to see myself with compassion. I choose to love the parts of me that were never loved properly. Pause. I choose to love the parts of me that were never loved properly. That is deep healing. Now let's anchor the challenge again so you feel held. For the next 21 days, you will meet yourself in the mirror. You will offer one honest sentence. You will offer one loving affirmation repeated. And you will track one thing, not perfection, not mood, not dramatic change. You will track softness, even 1%, a softer response to a mistake, a softer tone inside your mind, a softer face when you look at yourself. That is progress. Now let's do a powerful affirmation sequence designed specifically for dissolving self-doubt. I'll speak it slowly, and I invite you to repeat. Feel the words like warm water. Here we go. I release the habit of doubting myself. Pause. I release the habit of doubting myself. I choose to speak to myself with love. Pause. I choose to speak to myself with love. I trust my inner wisdom. Pause. I trust my inner wisdom. My inner wisdom knows what is right for me. Pause. My inner wisdom knows what is right for me. I am allowed to learn as I go. Pause. I am allowed to learn as I go. I am allowed to change my mind. Pause. I am allowed to change my mind. I am allowed to be new at something. Pause. I am allowed to be new at something. I approve of myself right now. Pause. I approve of myself right now. I am worthy of respect, especially my own. Pause. I am worthy of respect, especially my own. I choose to stand by myself. Pause. I choose to stand by myself. Now, breathe. And notice. Self-doubt doesn't like this because it loses its job. But that's okay. We are giving it a new job. The new job is gentle awareness. Instead of don't do it, it becomes take care as you do it. Instead of you can't, it becomes let's do one step. Instead of you'll fail, it becomes let's learn. This is a compassionate mind. Now here's something else you can do with mirror work that is very powerful. You can ask yourself a question and then listen. In the mirror you can say, what do you need from me today? And then pause. Not to think, but to listen. Maybe the answer is rest. Maybe it's encouragement. Maybe it's a boundary. Maybe it's forgiveness. Maybe it's play. And then you say, I can give you that. This builds trust, because trust is built when you respond to your own needs. Now I want to talk about the fear of making the wrong choice. So many people doubt themselves because they want the right path. Sweetheart, life is not one narrow path with a trapdoor. Life is creative. Even if you choose a direction and it isn't perfect, you will learn and you can adjust. So you can say in the mirror, I trust myself to choose. Pause. I trust myself to choose. And I trust myself to adjust. Pause. And I trust myself to adjust. That is real maturity. Now, another big piece. Self-doubt often grows when you compare. Comparison is a thief. It steals your joy and replaces it with pressure. So if comparison is your pattern, you can say, I bless others and I stay true to me. Pause. I bless others and I stay true to me. There is room for all of us. Pause. There is room for all of us. My path is unique and it is perfect for me. Pause. My path is unique and it is perfect for me. Now let's bring in the present moment again. Feel your feet. Feel your breath. Feel the fact that you are here, alive, listening, willing. This is not small. This is you choosing a new life. Now I want you to imagine the end of the 21 days, not as a fantasy, but as a felt sense. Imagine you stand in front of the mirror and you don't flinch. You don't immediately criticize. You soften, you smile gently, you say something kind, and you believe it a little more. You walk away from the mirror with your shoulders lower, your breath fuller, your mind quieter, and then you go into your day, and when the old voice tries to rise, you recognize it. You say, oh, that's the old station. And you choose a new sentence. That is the permanent change. Not that life never triggers you, but that you stop abandoning yourself when it does. Now we're coming into integration, and I want to offer you a final practice you can do today, right now, whether you're near a mirror or not. Close your eyes if you'd like. Place a hand on your heart and imagine your own eyes, warm and honest. Now say softly, I love you. Pause. I love you. Again, I love you. And one more time. I love you. Now add, I am proud of you. Pause. I am proud of you. And now, I trust you. Pause. I trust you. Feel those words, not as a demand, but as a balm. Now breathe. In the infinity of life where I am, all is well, and when you leave the mirror today, I want you to take that loving gaze with you into the rest of your life. Because mirror work is not only what happens in the bathroom. Mirror work is how you speak to yourself when no one is watching. It's how you treat yourself when you make a mistake, and it's how you respond when you feel afraid. It's how you hold yourself when you're tender. So today, if self-doubt appears, I want you to do one thing. Pause and say, "This is only a thought." Pause. And a thought can be changed. Then choose a loving thought, even a simple one. I am willing. I am learning. I am safe. I am here. I approve of myself. And remember, life loves you, and you are learning day by day, breath by breath, sentence by sentence, to love you too. All is well in your world, and it can become even better.